not transparent, not monumental, not simple. In fact, he is poor. This is one man. What about 2, 4, 100, 1 million? Multiply all this. Multiply the greatness by the weakness. And you will have the product of humanity. The product of human life.
This is what the strange jeweler was saying while taking the measure of our rings. Then he cleaned them with chamois leather and put them back in that little box. Then he finally wrapped them in tissue paper and put them back in the window. All this while he looked long, deep into our eyes, as if he wished to sound out our hearts. Was he right in saying all that? Were his thoughts ours? I suppose neither of us could think about it from such a distance. Love is enthusiasm rather than pensiveness.
So we are standing, reflected in the window, as if in a mirror that catches the future. Andrew takes one of the rings. I take the other. My God, how simple this is. What can people think invited to a wedding? What do they think when they are silent? And what will they go on thinking when they stop talking?
The occasion is most beautiful. It evokes so many associations. We are looking only at what is.
Man lives with a shadow line. He lives also with a line of light. The light passes into shadow, shadow into light.
New people, Teresa and Andrew, 2 until now, though still not 1. 1 from now on, but still 2.
She seems sad though, but perhaps she's just serious and moved. A diamond flashed in Andrew's shirt front, a white flower in Teresa's hair, though it's a different flash.
Wine also sparkles. Wine is a thing. Let it live in the other man. Man is love. Teresa and Andrew, wine, radiate mutually into each other's lives.
Ah, how many words and hearts. Ah, how many words and hearts. Ah, how many words and hearts. And we'll go on with you along the cloister. We'll go then down the avenue, a few score, a few hundred yards, with enthusiasm, with a sincere smile. Up to now, together. Later, vehicles will appear. Later, a road will hinder us. When you get into the car, you must stay alone.
But let us return to the stars. Let us return to warmth, to feelings. How people thirst for feelings. How man thirsts for intimacy. Teresa and Andrew.
Trees. Straight, slender trunks, cutting high above the eyes, cutting the moon distant from the eyes. 300,000 miles. And yet, they are 2, Teresa and Andrew. The moon becomes a little drum that plays in the depths of eyes and in the depths of hearts.
Love pulsating in vows, in man becomes thought and will. The will of Teresa being Andrew. The will of Andrew being Teresa.
Strange, yet necessary. And again, we move away from each other, because man will not endure in man forever, and man will not suffice.
How can it be done, Teresa, for you to stay in Andrew forever? How can it be done, Andrew, for you to stay in Teresa forever? Since man will not endure man, and man will not suffice.
Body, thought passes through it, is not satisfied in the body, and love passes through it. Teresa, Andrew, seek a harbour for thought in your bodies while they last. Seek the harbour for love.
Though we were still standing in front of the jeweller's shop, it was nonetheless clear that his shop window had ceased to be a display in which everyone, without exception, could find an object for himself. It became, however, a mirror reflecting us both, Teresa and myself. Moreover, it was not an ordinary flat mirror, but a lens absorbing its object. We were not only reflected, but absorbed. I had an impression of being seen and recognized by someone hiding inside the shop window.
One could see it on wedding day. We were both dressed in our Sunday best, and behind us there were a lot of people. They were wedding guests. The window absorbed my person at various moments and in various situations. First as I was standing, then kneeling by Andrew. Then we were exchanging the rings. I am also convinced that our reflection in that mirror has remained forever and cannot be extracted or removed. A little while later we concluded that it had been present in the mirror from the beginning, at any rate much sooner than the moment we stopped in front of the jeweller's shop.
And the jeweller, as I have already mentioned, looked at us in a peculiar way. His gaze was at once gentle and penetrating. I had a feeling he was watching us as he was selecting and weighing the rings. He then put them on our fingers to try them. I had the feeling he was seeking out our hearts with his eyes and delving into our past. Does he encompass the future too? The expression of his eyes, combined with determination. The future, for us, remains an unknown quantity, which we now accept without anxiety. Love has overcome anxiety. The future depends on love.
The future depends on love.
At one point, my eyes once more met the gaze of that old jeweler. I felt just then that his gaze was not only sounding our hearts, but also trying to impart something. We found ourselves not only on the level of his gaze, but also on the level of his life. Our whole existence stood before him. His eyes were flashing signals which we were not able to receive fully, just as once we've been unable to receive them in the mountains. And yet, they reached into our inner hearts. And somehow we went in their direction, and they covered the fabric of our whole lives.
We stood in front of the jeweler's shop for a long time without noticing the time or the cold of the October evening. At one point, though, we were roused by these words spoken loudly by a passer-by behind our backs.
It is late, and the shops are closed. Why is the light still on in the old jeweller's workshop? He too should lock up and go home.